I will try to discuss the topic of quality in big data. And it will be based on the article which is linked below. Big data quality, a survey. Big data is still kind of a hot topic as it's fairly new, but it has shown value in business and research. However, if you want to take advantage of this, we want to make sure that it's of a certain quality level. And this still has some issues. But first, what is big data? Its name suggests that it's big amounts of data, but that's not the only characteristic there is to it. McKinsey Global Institute made a definition which comes down to its volume, the velocity, and the variety of data. The volume is the concern of how big amount of data it is, how many places does it come from, and just the sheer size of data. Then there's the velocity. The velocity is the concern of how fast the data will come in from these sources. It will come in individual pieces of data, will come in batches, does it come in real time, does it come in parallel. So just in the sheer amount of data coming in a big amount, like a huge amount of speed. And then there's the variety of data. It does come from a lot of different sources, so the kinds of data that we get will have a high variety. This could be just the kind of data, but also the data formats that we get. But it's not simply the format. Sometimes it can also be that the data is not even structured in a way. In order for us to be able to utilize this data, it has to go through the data lifecycle, which begins with the data inception, which is just the data being generated. Then it's collected in different places. Then before we can actually use the data, we will have to streamline it. As said before, the variety is very, very wide. So we will have to streamline it in order to be able to process it. Then it comes down to actually processing the data in order to analyze it. In the analytics part, we can then analyze the data and make some valuable business assumptions and predictions that we can then in the end visualize in the visualization part. Processing, we use machine learning, deep learning, and AI in order to make insights that we can use to make predictions and decisions for our businesses. Then in the end, when you have these decisions and insights, you can visualize it in the visualization. All throughout the lifecycle from the data collection on all the way until the visualization, the data is stored and transported through different data centers and throughout the processes. However, the data will be completely useless if we are not sure that we have a certain quality of data. If that's not true, we will have data insights or business insights that we cannot trust. However, with big data, it's not like data from any other source. There's no way yet to make sure of this, especially with all these sources and all these different kinds of data, the high variety, high volume again. So this paper, this article, has made a holistic model for quality management in big data. Simply put, the proposed solution for this is to, in every step of the big data lifecycle, we will have a data quality report. When working with these data reports and the quality of big data, it's split into two strategies. It's the data-driven and process-driven strategies. The data-driven strategy concerns itself with improving and ensuring the quality of the data itself and augmenting and improving its quality. while the process-driven strategy is a predictive approach to ensure the quality of the process used to generate and manipulate the data, ensuring its higher quality. These strategies are taken into use in different kinds of stages, in different kinds of ways. The data acquisition is the first point where we try to ensure the data is as it should be. Firstly, we want the data to be of a certain quality when it's generated. And after that, we also ensure that when we collect it, it's a certain level of quality. This means that we, in the data creation, ensure that we don't generate bad data by setting up some quality constraints. Then afterwards, we ensure that the data is collected in a structured manner that ensures a more streamlined data. Also very important is the transport and storage of the data, where we want to ensure the least amount of loss and corruption. And then there is in the pre-processing phase, which is the last phase we have before the data is actually consumed. So here we try to normalize, cleanse. In general, we want to streamline the data, ensuring its high quality before processing, as it's when the data is actually processed, the catastrophic consequences will appear. Then in the end, we have the visualization, where the data is not having the quality assured in the same way as it has before, where we actually ensure this data stays of high quality, but more assessing whether it actually is still the quality we want it to be. Otherwise, we will have to make changes to our quality insurance policies, so to speak. So here we actually validate that the data is of the quality we want it to be. And as this is the last step in the process, we will look up at the quality reports that will be generated at each step of the way. And more of these processes and steps and phases actually work together and have each other in consideration. They pass these quality reports between them to ensure that the data stays of high quality, trying to enhance the quality of the data. It's also important that it's a continuous assessment of the quality data that we do in iterative processes, because we want the data to always keep improving, staying at a certain level of quality, but always improving. So this is a suggested way to try to improve the quality of the big data. And it's a nice step, but big data is still at a state where it's not perfected yet. It's still a very volatile and complex subject. So to make sure that it's still evolving, we want to have the high quality, because high quality, and at least for now, the quality we have, that we still try to have the highest level of, will make better business decisions. And as long as there's good business decisions, we'll try to improve the quality. And research and industry will keep working with it, which only improves on this quality. But like I said, it's still not perfect. It's still a subject of study and improvement.